Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. I hope you're doing well today. Still got a weird kind of voice, so if I start kind of coughing and stuff in the video, once again, I am sorry about that. Still trying to recover. Still, after like 4 weeks of trying to not be sick, it just keeps happening. Anyway, it's been a rough time. I have another GYG book here. That is Give Yourself Goosebumps. For anybody who doesn't know, these are choose-your-own-adventure books where you read a page, you go to the bottom, and you get choices on where you want to go through, or go to, in the story next. You get to make decisions as you read these books, which is kind of part of the appeal. And kind of makes them a little bit more standout from a lot of Goosebumps stuff in the different eras, the different series that we had, like Most Wanted and Slappy World and the classics in Series 2000. Anyway, I have a review today for one that I liked the cover for, and I still do. I didn't really understand what I was looking at, but I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and here I am. I finally read it this morning, and it was okay. Anyway, that book is Give Yourself Goosebumps number 35, Hocus-Pocus Horror. Look at that cover. It's kind of a weird-looking creature thing. He has, like, green fur, and it's patchy and stuff. He's wearing a top hat. As you can tell, Hocus-Pocus Horror is referencing magic, as in magicians and that kind of thing. That is generally the plot of the game, this game book, if you will. It's about 136 pages long, typically the length of a Goosebumps book. Not always in modern day, but at the time, back in the day it was. Hocus-Pocus Horror basically is about you and your best friend, Zach. I just finished the book like 10 minutes ago. I already forgot my best friend's name. It's kind of depressing. Anyway, you and Zach are at the local Civic Center auditorium to go basically see a new magician, or a famous magician that your friend loves, named, what is it, the Great Mysterio? Yeah, the Great Mysterio. And, I was hoping at one point they'd drop a little joke in there and, like, make it out like his first name was Rey, you know, Rey Mysterio, the old wrestler from back in the day. This is apparently, I guess, before Rey Mysterio's time at the WWE, but I wish they had done it. It would have been a cool little thing, even if they hadn't known. I thought it would have been cool. Anyway, so I find myself being interested in, but always kind of a little let down or disappointed with Goosebumps books that deal with magic or magicians or anything. There's a lot of them. There's about 3, 4, 5 books off the top of my head. I think about 3 or 4, mainly, off the top of my head that I can think of that are magic-themed. Be Careful What You Wish For is one of those, I believe. Am I thinking of the right one? No, I don't think I'm thinking of the right one. The one with the rabbit on the cover. But anyway, there are quite a few. There's another GYG book out there I reviewed already called Under the Magician's Spell. I remember that being okay. Or having some flaws to it. I remember being kind of underwhelmed with that, just like I am with this. This one immediately kind of rubbed me the wrong way because of the stupidity of the characters. They are kids, to be fair, and you are one of those characters. But the stupidity really kind of baffled me in this book. You and your friend, while you're in the audience at this show for the Great Mysterio, you two are picked to come up on stage. And when you go through one of the side doors to get up to the front, before you get up on stage, you happen to notice that the magician himself may be a bad guy, apparently. Because he has a wand, and he zaps a puppy that he's holding to try to make it jokingly answer questions that he's saying. And one of the big reasons on the page 1 of this book that you attended this, you can't stand magic, you can't stand magicians, the only reason you are going, and let me read this to you, is because your friend loves it, and because, where was it? Where was it? Oh, here we go. You're here because you heard Mysterio uses animals in his act. You're a major animal lover, and you want to make sure Mysterio isn't mistreating any dogs or cats. Did PETA pay for this book? Is that why we're doing this? Is that... What? Who pays money? What parent lets your kid, or gives your kid, money to go to something like this just so they can complain and have a bad attitude the whole time? Why? Why would you do that? I'm assuming he's paying with allowance money. I don't know. That's supposed to be you, I mean, but still. You're immediately putting this weird thing where, like, wouldn't you just tell your friend, like, can't your parents go with you? Why do I have to go with you? Anyway, weird thing to throw in there. I thought it was a little odd, but literally the entire book doesn't really focus on splitting off at the very beginning into 2 different choices that take you down very different paths. Pretty much everything in the book, unlike most Goosebumps or Give Yourself Goosebumps books, all of it is kind of centered around the Mysterio storyline and you saving this dog. That's it. You basically steal the dog. You commit theft steal the dog, and get into a lot of bad situations. I mean, when I say a lot of really bad stuff, that could probably have you killed, whether it be kidnapping, whether it be having your head chopped off. Yes, that can happen a couple of times in this book. Having your hand cut off. Yes, that happens in this book. A lot of different things that should not happen to a kid pretty much can happen to you in this read, or your best friend Zach, the one I forgot his name a minute ago. All that can happen to you because you cared about a dog in like a suitcase. What? Now, let's talk about the magic stuff, though. Is that stuff interesting? Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of clever sometime. Not so much the writing and like the puns that GYG books typically use in these books. That wasn't great. But the cleverness, using the magic for this or that, for example, there's powder in here that can make you disappear. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. It was a cool element to the story. They took up quite a bit of the story, as a matter of fact, too. All that stuff, the stuff involving you and your friend Zach trying to team up on how to beat Mysterio was kind of fun. But there's not... I kind of think this book would have benefited from, like, a B story. You know, like another story kind of going parallel. If you make the other choice at the beginning of the book, you'd follow that story instead of the Mysterio story. To me, that could have been better. All of this book's focal point being on you rescuing this dog for no real reason, just because you feel bad for it. It's weird. It seems kind of dumb to want to get your head cut off for that. I don't know. Just me. Just me. I love animals. I love animals. I love dogs. I love cats. Mainly cats, but I love dogs too. I don't understand why you'd risk your life for a dog, or any kind of animal for that matter. I don't get that. But that's just me. That's just me. I think a lot of things in this book could have been avoided if you had just left or boycotted or something, this magician. You know, I make a lot of jokes here. I know animals matter and all that stuff, but just saying, you could have avoided a lot of death in almost every single ending in this book if you had just let the dog be and not stole it, you know, because that's against the law too. Anyway, Hocus-Pocus horror, I jest a lot, but I did have a good time. As stupid as I think the focal point of this book is, as goofy as that is, as a motivator for the story, I had a good time. It wasn't bad at all. It really wasn't great, but it was good. I had a fun time. I think I enjoyed my time with it. I wish this creature on the front had been in the story more. He's really not. He's really, really not. I wish he had been. That could have been better. Maybe as a B story or something, have more of a direction of that going. Mysterio was kind of a cool villain. I enjoyed that. The endings, like I said, are not really well written when it comes to the pun aspect they typically have in most GYG endings. There's multiple in here. But they weren't bad. You know, I had a good time. I really do mean that. As much as I've mocked it and made fun of it, I had a good time reading this one. Would I recommend it? If you're into magic and magicians and that kind of thing, with more of like a supernatural element, you'll probably like this a lot. If you're not really a big fan of kind of the more humorous Goosebumps stuff, this is probably not going to be for you, but even if you are a big fan of the more humorous Goosebumps stuff, it's not really funny. There's a couple of times that I kind of grinned, not really laughed or smiled or chuckled, just grinned, you know, that's really it. There's not really a whole lot to say about the book. It's very middle of the road. It's fine, and I enjoyed it. For an average read, I had a good time. Between the title and the cover, I wish it was a better book. But I'm glad we had another magic, magician, spell, whatever, book. It was fun for what it was. Anyway, with all that being said, give yourself Goosebumps, number 35, Hocus-Pocus Horror. Did you guys read this? Did you love it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below on this read. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know everything down in the comments section. If I had to rate it on a 5-star basis, I think I'd give it like... probably a 3 out of 5. It was nice. I had a fun time. It was worth the time I think I spent on it. And it was quick, you know? What do you expect? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Would you risk your life to save a dog that wasn't even your dog? Would you do that? I would be shocked. I would love to hear that down in the comment section down below too. Because that's a big pivotal point of the story. To really kind of keep it going. You have to be invested in that to really stay engaged with this. And it's not like there's really a big emotional string to this either. You know, I don't know. It was just me, I guess. Anyway, thank you all. God bless you. Have a good one. I hope to have some more reviews out for you this week, God willing, so tune in. I'm very close. This is book number 4 in the last 4 books I had to read for the GYG series. I have 3 more left. And then after those 3, we are done with GYG, and I'll do the ranking videos I typically do and all that. I talked about that yesterday in the last video I did last night. But anyway, hope you'll tune in for all that. God bless you all again. Goodbye.